Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to ELA today. We are starting our very last story, lesson 25 from seed to plant. I am so excited. This is one of my all-time favorite stories because you get to do a little science with this. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in with your vocabulary. Vocabulary. Please listen to your vocabulary words.
Get vocabulary. Grain, pod, soak, soften, root, shoot, nutrition, tasty.
We're going to read each word in using the context clues now, boys and girls.
Grain. It is hard to pick up only one small grain of rice.
Let's say grain 3 times together. Grain, grain, grain.
2. Pod. A pod or shell protects peas as they grow.
Let's whisper pod 3 times.
3. Soak. The children soak the soil with water to help the seeds grow.
Let's say soak in our high-pitched voice 3 times together. Soak, soak, soak.
4. Soften. The boiling water will soften the noodles.
Let's use our soft voice to say the word soften 3 times. Soften, soften, soften.
5. Root. The root of this plant goes deep into the soil.
Let's use our low voice to say root 3 times. Root, root, root.
6. Shoot. We planted seeds in the ground. Later, we saw a shoot begin to grow.
Let's yell shoot 3 times. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
Eating vegetables is a good way to get the nutrition that your body needs.
Let's rub our bellies and use our hungry voice and say nutrition 3 times. Nutrition, nutrition, nutrition.
Tasty. I ate the whole apple because it was so tasty.
Put your happy emoji face on and say tasty in your favorite voice 3 times. Tasty, tasty, tasty. All right. We are now going to look at the definitions of these words. So one of your words was grain. In our story this week, a grain is a tiny particle like a piece of sand. Another word was pod. A pod is a soft shell that holds seeds. Pod could be a multiple meaning word. Soak, to get very wet. Soften, to make soft. Root, a part of the plant that is underground and soaks up water. Shoot, a part of a young plant that grows straight up from a seed. Nutrition, part of food that is good for your health, like vitamins. And your last word this week, boys and girls, is tasty, having flavor that tastes good. So we're going to go ahead and use those vocabulary words to make some connections now. You could do this with your parents, or you could do it right here with me. Tell something you can see a grains of if you look closely. So when I think of something like that, I think of if I look at my favorite pair of jeans and I look really close up to them, I can see the different stitchings, or they could be considered grains. Also, I always think of rice. You can see rice grains very easily. Next one, what types of seeds have you seen in pods? Sorry, boys and girls. I have seen green beans in pods. What about you? Next question, what is something that can soak? I think of soaking a pea plant. I also think of soaking a bean plant. Or my favorite thing to soak is myself in a nice warm tub. Tell how you could soften hard clay. I would soften hard clay by moving it around in my hands. What kind of nutrition do you need to stay healthy? Well, think of your food pyramid, boys and girls, or your food plate. You want to make sure you have a nice, healthy balance of your grains, meats, dairy, vegetables, and fruits, and a very limited amount of your sugars and fats. What kind of produce have you seen for sale at the grocery store? I have seen recently berries are starting to come out. I've also seen peppers, cucumbers. What is something that you would like to see multiply? I would love to see ice cream stores multiply. I don't know about you. Why is a root an important part of the tree? I think a root is an important part of the tree because it holds the tree into place. And that's how the tree gets its nutrition, through its roots. Tell about a plant you saw when it was a shoot. I saw a tomato plant growing as a shoot in my garden. Name some foods that are both healthy and tasty. Well, I love salads, so lettuce and carrots and tomatoes and cucumbers, those are all foods that are healthy and tasty. And what can you do to tend a garden? If you have a garden, you want to make sure it has plenty of sunlight, you're watering it, and you're weeding it. Okay, boys and girls, if you could go ahead and open up your Journeys book and turn to the story From Seed to Plant, I need you to go ahead and do a picture walk. Here's a little help of what a picture walk is. You're asking yourself, what do words that are in bold mean? You're asking yourself, what do you think is occurring in the picture? Maybe you could say to yourself, when is this story taking place? Trying to figure out the setting. You could also say, I wonder how the character is feeling. In this case, you're going to want to question it. I wonder what the seed is doing, or how the seed will grow, or what the animals in the story are doing. Then you're going to make a prediction. Make a guess about what you think will happen in the story. So I predict, and I'll tell you mine. I predict the story From Seed to Plant will show me the steps I need to grow my own garden. That's my prediction. Go ahead and do your picture walk and make your prediction now. Okay, boys and girls, I hope you have a great prediction ready to go. I want you to follow along while we listen to the read aloud of the story From Seed to Plant. Boys and girls, we are going to listen to a read aloud of our story for this week. The story is called From Seed to Plant. It is lesson 25 in your Journeys book, and it begins on page 348. You need to focus on text and graphic features this week, which tell how words and pictures help you understand the text. The genre is an informational text, which means it gives us facts. As you read, look for pictures and labels, facts and details, diagrams that help explain the topic. Please listen to hear a little bit about the author and illustrator.
The author and illustrator, Gail Gibbons. Gail Gibbons was a very curious child. Her parents say that she always asked a lot of questions. She also loved to draw and paint. One of her first jobs was doing artwork for a children's television show. After that, she wrote her first book. Since then, she has written more than 135 informational books. She loves her job because she still likes to ask questions. She finds the answers and then writes about them in her books.
So the title again is From Seed to Plant by Gail Gibson. Your essential question is, how do plants grow and change? Most plants make seeds. A seed contains the beginning of a new plant. Seeds are different shapes, sizes, and colors. All seeds grow into the same kind of plant that make them. Many plants grow flowers. Flowers are where most seeds begin. Let's look at the picture. Tulip, daisy, rose, pea, buttercup, corn. A flower is made up of many parts. Please listen to the parts of the flower.
The sticky part at the top of the pistil is the stigma. Stamens make yellow powder called pollen. In the center of the flower is the pistil. The parts of the flower around the pistil are the stamens. At the bottom of the pistil are tiny egg cells called ovules. Sepal. Stem.
Before a seed can begin to grow, a grain of pollen from the stamen must land on the stigma at the top of the pistil of a flower like itself. This is called pollination. Pollination happens in different ways. Often, wind blows pollen from flower to flower. Bees, other insects, and hummingbirds help pollinate too. While they visit flowers for their sweet juice called nectar, pollen rubs onto their bodies. Then they carry the pollen to another flower where it comes off into its pistil. If a pollen grain from a flower lands on the pistil of the same kind of flower, it grows a long tube through the pistil into the ovula. This is the beginning of a seed. The seed grows inside the flower, even as the flower begins to die. As the seeds become bigger, a fruit or pod grows around them. The fruit or pod protects the seed. When the fruit or pod ripens, it breaks open. The seeds are ready to become new plants. Some seeds fall to the ground around the base of the plant where they will grow. Some pods or fruits open and the seeds pop out. Sometimes, when birds eat berries, they drop the seeds. Other seeds fall into streams, ponds, rivers, or the ocean. There, they travel on the water until they stick to the dirt along the shore. The wind scatters seeds. Some seeds have fluff on them that lets them float to the ground like tiny parachutes. Others have wings that spin as they fall. Animals help scatter seeds too. They hide acorns and nuts in the ground. Some seeds have hooks that stick to the fur of animals or people's clothes. Later, they drop off onto the ground. A flower bed or vegetable garden is beautiful. Seeds are planted to grow in gardens. The seeds come in small envelopes or boxes. Directions explain how to plant the seeds and care for the plant. The beginning of the plant is curled up inside each seed. Food is stored inside the seed. The seed has a secret coat on the outside to protect it. This is a bean. This is the food. This is the beginning of the plant, and the outside is the seed coat. A seed will not sprout until certain things happen. First, it must be in or on the soil. Then it needs rain to soak the seed and soften its seed coat. This is germination. This is the root. When the sun shines and warms the ground, the seed coat breaks open and the seed begins to grow. This is called germination. A root grows down into the soil. The root takes in water and minerals from the soil for the food. This picture shows the shoot and the leaves. Up grows a shoot. Green leaves grow up from the shoot toward the sun. The plant grows bigger and bigger. The leaves make food for the plant from the water and the minerals in the soil, the sunlight, and the air all around the plant. This is a picture of a bud. Finally, the plant is fully grown. Buds on the plant open into flowers where new seeds will grow. Many of the foods people eat are from seeds, fruits, and pods. They are full of nutrition, vitamins, and minerals, and they are tasty too. From Seed to Plant Project. This is a project you could do at home, boys and girls. How to raise a bean plant. Find a clean glass jar. Take a piece of black construction paper and roll it up. Step 2. Slide the paper into the jar. Fill the jar with water. Step 3. Wedge the bean seeds between the black paper and the glass and put the jar in a warm place. Step 4. In a few days, the seeds will begin to sprout. Watch the roots grow down. The shoots will grow up. Caring for your bean plant. Step 5. Put dirt into a big clay pot. Step 6. Carefully remove the small plants from the glass jar. Place them in the soil, covering them up to the base of their shoots. Step 7. Water them and watch them grow. This is your focus skill for this week that we talked about at the beginning, text and graphic features, and you're going to be looking a little more at cause and effect with this story. Thank you for listening to this read. Okay, boys and girls, now we had the read aloud. What you can do next, you can have your parents read you the comprehension questions that are on the share drive for today, or you can click right here and it will take you to a Kahoot game that you can play with the same comprehension questions. After you're done with that, you have 2 extension activities to pick from. You could play Pictionary using your vocabulary words by clicking here, or playing at home with pen and paper. Or you could choose to do the From Seed to Plant project that's in your Journeys book. I have them right here for you if you need them. I hope you enjoyed the story. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, boys and girls. Have a great night.